Oh, hey guys, thanks for joining me for Fantasy Football Update, Week 7 style. Just watching some fantasy football news here on the TV. I just want to really make sure that I take every advantage I can get. Not doing too well, 1-5. Just exactly what I didn't want to happen last week. Turns out it happened, so I'm going to try to catch every bit that I can get from this lovely newscast and make sure that I use it this week and dominate. Hey, Mom. Let's tune in. It, of course, was not ruled a penalty. In other news, Cedric Benson is the latest to join the list of NFL players attempting to douche over Nick Meyer. Cedric Benson has been suspended yet again, as he always manages to do every year. This time, it's for an altercation stemming back to this summer where he punched his college roommate. Now Benson is on a bye and will not be playing next week. Things do not look good for Nick Meyer. In this week's Wish That Trade Would Have Worked Out, we focus in on Deion Branch for Ronnie Brown. This trade was made back in Week 1 when Nick Meyer traded Eric Eason 1-for-1, Branch for Brown. Branch has gone on to have a successful 2011. Brown has not. It looked like it was almost going to come into fruition for Meyer back when there was a trade offered Brown to Detroit. That, of course, was voided, and the hapless Meyer will have to do with DeLone Carter yet again. Let's go out to the backyard and join Nick Meyer for the Nick Meyer Fantasy Football Weather Update. Nick? Thanks, Nick. Here in the backyard, we're going to be taking a look at the Nick Meyer Fantasy Football Weather Report. However, we're going to start with a look back at our previous 6 weeks. We've been seeing a mighty storm cluster moving in, and we're hoping it breaks soon. Here in Week 1, you can see things started off great. Nice and sunny with a big win. Moving on to Week 2, we can see that the weather started to shift. We started to see some clouds forming around here and really getting in the way of a fantasy football victory. Moving on to our Week 3, we really started to see a storm cluster forming. Things were uncertain. We didn't really know what was happening. Nick Meyer's not used to losing and not used to this change in the weather. As the weeks went on, Week 4 is where things really started to change for us. It really started to open up. A big storm cluster, a lot of stormy weather. Not a happy time for Nick Meyer. Week 5 didn't help. Week 5 is where we really saw the thunder and the lightning really come down. Things opened up and it got awful. A big loss. Couldn't believe it. Until we got to Week 6. And this, folks, is where things took a turn for the worst. Week 6 is where we really started to see the steamy heapy form. Right in the middle of his plans for fantasy football gold. I don't know if he's going to be able to recover, but there is a change in the wind. That's right. Coming in from Colorado, we've got a big swarm of Tebow heading to Minnesota. Right here to Nick Meyer's fantasy football team. Just amazing. Looks like things are going to start turning around for me after all. Let's go Tebow. God, I love those guys. The best.